Congrats, you're interested in buying a home. I love that. Home ownership is one of the best things you can do for yourself, and I'm about to explain all the steps in buying a home. You ready? Let's go. My name is Chris Martin, real estate agent, investor, coach. If you have not already, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. Check out some of the other videos, in particular, the videos to this series on buying a home. I'm hoping that I can be helpful in your journey. All right, guys, here we are, the last step, step number 7. And step number 7 in the step-by-step how to buy a home is the closing and the final walkthrough. So the final walkthrough, this is important because this is exactly how you're going to get the property. This is how you're getting the property delivered to you. So if you're buying a property, you don't want to just, the last time you saw it was during the inspection a month ago. You want to make sure all that person's stuff is out of there, that ugly couch is out of there, all their clothes are out of the closet. The walkthrough should be simply you going by to verify that all their stuff is out of the property. That's what a walkthrough should be. It shouldn't be another inspection 2.0. That's not what it is. It's, you know, you're not going in there and fiddling around with stuff. You're going in there just to verify the house is still intact and it's being delivered to you with your expectations and how you expected it to be delivered to you, right? So you want to go by and verify that all personal items are removed. There's not a pile of trash in the backyard. You can negotiate things last minute. So if things aren't what you expected, it doesn't mean that you have to push the closing date for another week or you can't close on the property. There's a pile of trash in the backyard. If you have an agent, they should know how to negotiate this and how to deal with it appropriately. But basically, you can snap a few pictures. You can come up with a price that you feel is sufficient to remove that trash and have that money given to you at the closing, or have the responsibility of the seller to remove that trash and maybe have some sort of holdback to where maybe they get all of their proceeds, but we hold back $5,000 until they get rid of all that trash. If they don't get rid of all that trash by 2 days, at 5 o'clock, then we'll get that $5,000 and we'll remove that trash. So something along those lines. So don't feel like everything is like exploded when you can't purchase on a property because stuff is there. We can resolve that and you can negotiate past that. But again, you want to plan for about a 15-minute walkthrough, 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it's quicker than that. And you want to do the walkthrough as close to the closing as possible. You don't want to do it a couple days prior. I would say if the property's empty, then doing it the day before, that's understandable. The property's already empty. There's not going to be any, anything happening different between last night and today, the closing. But a lot of times it's best to do the property on your way to the closing. You have a closing at 12 o'clock, do a walkthrough at 10, 10:30. That way you get it out the way and you know exactly how the property is going to be delivered to you. Again, if you do it too soon, you do it a day before and the person's still getting stuff out, then you really can't see how the property is going to be delivered to you. So you want to make sure that you're there after everything's out. You don't want someone to deliver the property and next thing you know, they were moving the bureau from upstairs downstairs with a big hole in the wall you didn't expect, and you didn't have a walkthrough to see it because it happened, and then you claim ownership of the property. Now you'd have to deal with that hole. So that's the type of stuff that I would advise my clients to do the final walkthrough as close to the closing as possible. If you are dealing with multiple units, then this is something that you obviously you'll know in advance. Maybe you're buying a 2-unit, 3-unit, and one unit's being delivered vacant, the other unit's being occupied. Obviously make sure that you're getting the unit delivered vacant that you expect to be delivered vacant, and the ones that are delivered occupied, then you're doing the walkthrough on those and they're in the condition that you expect. An additional note on that, if you're buying a multifamily, you want to make sure you're getting estoppels. It's basically a rundown of the property. It is a agreement that the tenant sign acknowledging what is the rent, if there's a security deposit being held, if last month's rent is being paid. You're getting all of this signed and acknowledged up front, because the last thing you want is to take on a property with tenants and the owner is giving it to you saying, oh, I did not accept a last month's rent from this person, or I did not accept a security deposit. And you're like, okay, great. Next thing you know, you take on this tenant and they're like, wait a minute, I paid last month's rent already. I gave them a security deposit. You don't want that situation to unfold. That's the purpose of an estoppel. The tenant's agreeing up front what is exactly what has been done and agreed to prior to you taking over the property, what the current rent is, all that stuff being delivered, and you're getting a copy of their ID, it's being signed by them and notarized and all that good stuff. That way there's no disagreement, there's no room for confusion or I thought this and I thought that. You want to make sure you get those estoppels on all multifamilies where you're inheriting tenants. All right, guys, after the walkthrough, then you can go to the closing and you can walk in there like McGregor if you want to. You know that Conor McGregor walk? You could do that. You could walk up in there like that with your cash in hand, get with your lender, and make sure you're not bringing a briefcase with cash and flashing it and throwing it in the suitcase like a drug lord deal. You're not doing that. You're bringing usually a check to the closing. So make sure you know the amount of money that you're bringing in that check to the closing. It's called cash to close on what a buyer needs to bring to the closing. Your lender will know the exact amount, so you can get with them and find that out. And then once you give that to the closing attorney, sign about half a dictionary worth of documents, you'll get the keys to your property and you will be good to go. Congratulations, you just closed on purchasing a home. So I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do, closing on a property, and I hope you guys get to experience that if you have not already. Build equity, build wealth through real estate. Hopefully these videos helped you guys. Remember, there's 7 of them total. Go back and watch them again. Go back and watch 1 through 7. I purposely only made them between 5 and 10 minutes so you can go through them, listen to them in your car. Subscribe to my channel, like, comment. I would appreciate that. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.